Hello, beautiful souls. It's Lisa Driver, and you can find me at lisadriver1111.com, where I focus on helping spiritual women to love and trust themselves. Today, we're talking about the spiritual tool of rest. And this is a tricky one because we very rarely give ourselves permission to relax, especially if we are achievement addicts, if we go, if we're moms and we have those big, long to-do lists. And as nurturing women, we tend to like to be busy. We like to be giving. We like to be doing. We like to be creating. We like to be moving towards our next goal. And sometimes our next best step on this spiritual journey of co-creating with our angels and the divine and the universe around us is to rest and to relax. And if you've been following me on social media this week, you probably saw that I pretty seriously injured my quad, my left quad. My right quad is also very, very strained, but my left quad was to the point of shock and putting me out of commission. And I always find that when we're not listening to our body's cues to relax and calm and recharge and refresh ourselves, we tend to get injured or sick. I write a lot about this in Boundaries of Bucket Filling. I used to always get the throat, right? The sore throat and the swollen glands and tonsillitis, because I wasn't speaking my truth. I wasn't asking for what I needed, and I wasn't really asking for help or support. I wasn't carving out that time for myself to really refill my physical vessel. And of course, we've got the mind, body, spirit connection, which is what I teach. And if one of those pieces is out of whack, life can feel very, very hard, difficult, right? It's that much more of a struggle. Whereas if we can try and find a little bit of balance and really refuel in all those areas throughout our days and our hours and our weeks and our minutes and so on and so forth, we tend to enjoy this journey a lot more. So today I want to talk about 3 easy steps that you can take to give yourself permission to rest. The first one is to recognize that you need it, right? So don't get to the point where you're pulling your quad or you're getting tonsillitis or you're getting so sick that you have to lie on the bed and binge Netflix for 3 days because you don't have the energy to do anything else. I mean, that's nice and has its place, but no one likes to feel that gross, right? You really do miss your health when you're at that point. So recognize that you need that, and realistically just put it in your mind that you always are going to need to make sure that you're resting your body, that you're honoring your body, no matter what your age is and what injuries you've had in the past or illnesses you've had in the past. Every single physical body needs rest. It's part of the cycles of life. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is then to carve it out, to schedule it. And this is really great because for those of us that are doers and are achievers, this can go on the to-do list, right? You can put that as like an item, like nap. I literally have nap on my to-do list, you guys, and it's so great when I get to check it off because it's like a win-win. I got a great nap and I get to check something off my to-do list. Yes, I am that person. Please do not judge me. And if you're that person, put it on your list, right? Because there is a satisfaction in sensing that you have accomplished something. And that's oftentimes the kicker, is it not, when we are trying to give ourselves permission to rest? It's that we feel like we're not doing anything. We're not doing enough. And there's a few memes out there, a few graphics out there that really explain that sometimes when we're resting our body, we're doing exactly what we need in that moment. Honor that, schedule that in, and put it in your calendar, put it in your phone so that a notification pops up. Chunk it out, right? Carve it out. Even if it's just like 10, 15, 20 minutes, those cat naps, those power naps are awesome. Or just, my grandpa used to always say, I'm resting my eyes. Even that, just to kind of calm you down, tune in, relax, right? Or maybe you set an alarm so that you start winding down at like 9 o'clock at night instead of watching TV straight till 10 and then playing on your phone for half an hour trying to fall asleep, right? Really trying to carve out that time and space where your eyes can begin to relax and you can stretch, maybe do some yoga or read a book or something like that to really quiet your mind. I've got 3 really great books that I can recommend if you're interested. So that's tip number 2, schedule it in and really just begin to give yourself that permission to carve it out in your life. And then step number 3 is to really celebrate it, to enjoy it. Because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to go back and do it again, right? You've really got to make sure that you're not feeling guilty about it. We're getting rid of the guilt. This is the third and most important step when it comes to giving yourself permission to rest. Because if you feel guilty about it, if you feel like you're being lazy, if you feel like you should be doing something else, or could be doing something else, we have to sweep all of that away. And we just have to understand that in this moment, this is what my body needs. And here's the great trick that I use all the time when I start to feel guilty, when the logical ego-based mind pops into my head and says, nah, you're a nurturer. Why aren't you nurturing? Why aren't you doing? You've got a house to clean. You've got laundry to sort. You've got laundry to put away. You've got the floors to, right? Like the list goes on and on and on. There's always things that I could be doing. But then I say to my logical brain, all right, but at the same time, if I do not do this, if I do not carve out this time for myself, then I'm going to get very sick and none of those things are going to get done. And everybody loses. My kids lose, my husband loses, my friends lose, my communities lose, I lose. And I don't want that. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of sacrificing. I'm tired of putting myself on the back burner. That's why I wrote book number 3, Boundaries and Bucket Filling, because you need to feel worthy. So if that's your biggest issue, my third book will really, really help you to get out of that mindset of not feeling worthy to do that. But most importantly, just think about if you don't do this, how worn out you're going to get, and then how useless you're going to be to everybody, right? It's a really very simple mind sort of trick to appease the logical mind, right? Because that's all it wants. It just wants to be heard and respected. It's trying to, keep you going, keep you motivated and distract you, and just do your best to tune in and honor that. So how are you going to rest this week? How are you going to carve that out? What does that look like for you? How can you fit in some R&R and recharge and really refuel? I'm really, really excited. We've got my podcast coming out tomorrow, and it's also a full moon week this weekend. So lots of energy shifting. The podcast is really about the spiritual road trip and what's in the name behind my podcast name and how you can really enjoy that journey. There's a meditation at the end too. Very simple way to fill your bucket. And next Saturday, October 19th, I have a free event coming up. So this is my free self-care Saturday event, and it's online 1:30 to 3:30. So just make sure you've subscribed to my newsletter. If you can get tickets through Eventbrite or through my website, but as long as you're subscribed to my newsletter and watching over the next couple weeks, I'm just going to be sending out the free link, the app that you can download. It's Zoom. It's super user-friendly. You literally download the app and then click on the link and you're there. You're joining us. You're getting angel guidance, meditations, affirmations, some crystal healing. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon. And then I'm also doing another free event at the end of October, Tranquil Tuesday. And this is going to be a beautiful guided meditation, a little bit of coaching, a bit of Reiki healing, and just that way to really tune in, fill your bucket. So carve those out, mark those on your calendar, make sure that you can join us. And even if you can't join us live, make sure you join us for the replay, because the replay of these 2 events is going to be free. It's going to be posted on my website afterwards. I'm using them as sort of a demo so people know what I'm going to be doing every month, because I'm going to be doing one of each every month, time permitting. And I'm really excited because I need it just as much as you guys need it, obviously, as evidenced by my poor legs that are still not in the best shape, but I'm doing lots of Reiki. I'm sending you lots of Reiki when I do that, making sure that my whole community is surrounded by love as we move into a really intense full moon weekend. But here in Canada, it's also Thanksgiving. So just before I say goodbye today, I just want to say thank you to all of you. And I'm going to get a little choked up here, but I'm so grateful for my community of spiritual women, my tribe that has my back, that has been so patient with me as I have really created my family and taken time to be with my girls and taken time to figure out what my business looks like. It's been 5 weeks since I got back to work, and I'm still trying to really figure out what balance looks like, as evidenced by my poor legs. And I really appreciate having such supportive and beautiful women, and the odd wonderful, sensitive male soul in there too, that has my back and is just really supportive when I need it as well. It's just a win-win. So spend some time this weekend sending out gratitude for all those in your life that really help you feel radiant and beautiful and loved. And just know that I'm doing the same. I'm so grateful for you guys, and I will see you on the podcast tomorrow. Well, you'll hear me, and again next week for some weekly coaching. Of course, I do have openings this month for private coaching and for group gatherings. I've got those beautiful Moms Night Outs or the group gathering parties Message me if you'd like more information on that. spiritualhealing1111@gmail.com. Light and love, you guys. Namaste.